Alright, so I've been kind of thinking more and more about this 9-6 relationship. Because it's like, okay, so 6 is prevalent, right? And you're anxious. But when you're around a 9 is tranquil, it makes you feel better, right? So, so in the beginning, it's good for the 6. But because the 9 feels like, because 9 is six's place of health. So you want to hang out with 9 so that you can be drawn into your health. But when a 9 hangs out with the 6, they feel like they're slowly getting pulled into their unhealth, which is 6. So I could see that interaction happening where you feel like in the beginning of this relationship, you feel uplifted, you feel better, okay? But as it goes on, you're slowly draining the 9 of their tranquility. So this then turns into resentment for the 9. So the 9 is feeling like they need something back from you. They need you to pay for shit. You gotta be doing something for them also. And I don't think you as a 6 realize that the 9 is actually uh, chilling you out a bit, which is something that you kind of need. Um, or like. So I could see how over time this can invert. So it's like, the 9 is getting drained and drained and drained. And the 6 is starting to see, because they could see so far ahead, they're like, oh, I see you falling apart on me, and you're not what I thought you were. So they lose the trust, for this person. But really, that 9 is getting tired. And the 9 is passive aggressive, so they're not going to say that you're becoming a drain on me. So they'll probably start clicking out on you and creating a distance, and which becomes even more seductive. So and it kind of pulls you into them, while they are running away. So yeah, and then you try harder and harder to get them back because you miss that tranquilness, but which they need to go, recultivate over here. Um, but they're coming back like nothing happened. So then you're like, okay, what did I do? Which creates this downward spiral because if you're thinking the way you think, you're looking too far. So and they aren't. So yeah, I could see how that could devolve, from a play thing that was healthy to you to a thing that is now not healthy to you. So then it turns into two sixes in the same place. So what happens is that you as a 6, when you start, becoming unhealthy. So the 9 moves into 6 when they're unhealthy, right? So you're a 6 hanging out with another 6, which is gonna just stoke your anxiety more. So then you as a 6 moves to 3, right? So you're now an overachiever. So now, now you're actually helping the 9 come back up. So you're overexerting yourself. You're trying to overachieve, get all the shit, make them happy, which then in turn starts pulling the fucked up, like the unhealthy 9 back into health. So there's this kind of revolving door that seems to be happening where, um, you know, your unhealth makes them healthier. Their unhealth makes you healthier. Um, so yeah, so you both benefit from each other's unhealth. Yeah, which is kind of no, actually, because 9 and 6 is you're not actually benefiting from their own health. They're just only benefiting from your own health. When they're in their 9 and they're actually feeling pretty decent, um, I guess only when they're in their 9 do you feel okay. Like right at the beginning, right at the beginning is when you get the uplifting feeling. But if they travel into 6, you go down. If they travel into 3, you also get pulled down. So yeah. So in the beginning you pull them down, and then later on you're pulling them up, and they're pulling you down. So it's not quite an equal exchange. None of these numbers have an equal exchange. Um, so yeah. Interesting. And I think this might air into why, you know, yeah, that's kind of funny. Like every number has some problems. If there was a number that didn't have some problems with another number, then there wouldn't be love, because you need some friction in order to create love. So yeah, that's just the truth. I think. So yeah, so maybe you with the 9, it ain't quite as good as I was hoping there. So that I think the 9 will benefit more from the 6 than the 6 will benefit from the 9, which is why eventually you as a 6 has decided to cut out all these fucking 9s, because you've seen how it eventually becomes, and you're like, no. So I feel like that's the way a 6 needs to handle 9s, is just like interject them into your life for short periods of time and then kind of fade away, and then that will keep this relationship nice, at least for you. You know, yeah, because it's not rather doing that for the 9. It won't really. They're just helping you. You're not really helping them as much, uh, but when you're hitting them up, if you're unhealthy and that's when you're gonna hit them up, right? It's when you're feeling unhealthy, which is actually your 3, which actually uplifts them. So that, I think that's the best way for mutual benefit to make this work, is you just hit them up every now and then when you're feeling shitty. They'll raise you up, and because you're in your shitty mode, they actually feel better. So that you both get raised. You separate, you come back. That's the way this might work out. I think that's the key there. Because as soon as you go into you get healthier, you start dragging them down. The more healthy, you know, and then if you're uber healthy, you're just both 9s, which is just kind of like fine. Yeah. And if they get healthier, go into their 3, you feel dragged down. So yeah, so the lower you go, the higher they go.